Okay, good evening all. Sorry for the little delay. Welcome to the last meeting, of the Lake Luzerne Town Board for 2025. And the last meeting I'll be sitting up here after 20 years. So all I have to say is we had now you're gonna take a picture of me wearing a mask. Are you? I mean, let me take the mask off. Let me look to you, Lumen.
Good hands.
All right. All I got to say is 20 years went by quick. I think I mentioned this last month too. It's been a blessing for me. And I mean this wholeheartedly. I love doing what I'm doing. I've been blessed, except for a few years, with great board members. And that basically we've worked together, especially the last 2 or 3 years, to the T for the town. And I'm just privileged to have a man right behind me, but now he's sitting next to me, and he's soon to be sitting over here. Jim Niles, he's a good friend. He cares. That's what I feel is the most important. People run for political purposes just to get the glory or title, or you got to run to do the good thing for your community. And I said this at the meeting. We were there, the county. We people like me don't run just because I want to run to be supervisor. I run because I want to do as good as I can for my town, and same thing for the county. And I'm blessed up there. I've had great times, good friends, everything else. So, but this whole month has been how can I say this? This month has been a zoo for me. Whirlwind. I started off with 3 days, December 1st, 2nd, and 3rd in the hospital. Then I come back here. Now I get a cold the other day, but I'm okay. I don't have a fever, so I'm wearing a mask so nobody else gets cold. But this month has been crazy between the hospital and all the other little things that happened after 20 years. But and I'll sleep well tonight. Last few nights, the last couple of weeks, I'm back and forth like we all do, dream about things and wrestle about the problems, but I'll sleep good tonight knowing I got a good team coming in.
That picture I just passed around is the picture they took Friday at the County Board of Supervisors.
Oh,
meeting.
wow. Okay, yeah. You made your own. You didn't steal mine, did you? But yeah, at the county, we were, blessed with a citation certificate from Matt Simpson and Dan Stack. Plus the board, we got presented with a flag and a proclamation. So it's been a whirlwind month for me, and I'm really honored. And I said this, I think, to Jim a couple of days ago. I've been to more senior center senior center breakfasts, more friends, chambers, different organizations with the goodbye parties. That I've had enough. I enjoyed every minute of it. It's time. And I'm saying this with all my heart. I'm blessed to have a team like this. We don't always agree with everything, and that's right. We have to be a team. We have to agree. We can't always disagree, but we have to agree to disagree. And it's worked out well over my years. A couple of years were a little stagnant, but we got through them, and now 20 years has gone by. So with that, I'll get started with this meeting. Let me put my glasses on. They're going to fog up right away, so I have to drop this down a little bit. Okay. Yeah, I did my welcome. Would you all stand and salute the flag?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Councilman Morton. Councilwoman McMahon.
Yeah.
Councilman Niles.
Here.
Supervisor Molino.
Here. All right, Lori, you can take over.
Proposed resolution to pay the bills as presented, general fund vouchers. 5953 to 5966, $17,580.39. Highway fund vouchers 5967 to 5978, $14,114.92. SW1 Water District Fund vouchers 5979, 5980, $2,645.92. And the SW2 Water District voucher 5981 for $16,132.18. Do I have a motion?
Make a motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none carried. Proposed resolution to authorize the supervisor to enter into an execute agreement with the Rockwell Falls Ambulance Service in the for the calendar year of 2026.
I'll make that motion. We would like a roll call, Lori, on that.
Okay. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Is there any discussion?
Yes. You have any discussion?
Yeah, so I think we've all discussed what's going on with the ambulance service agreement. We're in a position now where our attorney has said that we need to take a look at the contract. However, we've essentially run out of time. So if we do not approve the contract currently as it stands, even though it hasn't changed since last year, really, we're kind of going against the attorney's advice if we vote yes for this. But if we don't approve it, Luzerne, the Rockwell Falls Ambulance Service would not be able to run starting January 1st. So I can only speak for myself, but I'm willing to vote for this agreement and essentially take the town of Hadley's word and the ambulance service's word that we're all going to work together right at the start of the new year to update that contract so that our attorney is comfortable with it. Because I just know me personally, I never like going against my attorney's advice. But in this situation, for me, the safety of the residents outweighs whatever issues there may be with the contract. And the fact that it is the same contract that it was last year is enough to kind of give us a couple months, get through this year, and hopefully we can hash out a new agreement that everybody's comfortable with moving forward. So that's all I'd like to say.
Can I go next?
Go ahead.
Then we'll kind of.
Yeah, okay. Say the best for that.
As you guys know, I tried to make this happen
Yes.
in the 2 weeks, and Hadley's attorney was on vacation last week. Our attorney's on vacation this week, and so it didn't happen. I apologize for that. I really thought I could get it done. Basically, what Dane said is on my mind as well. Issues like this, for me, I typically use a phrase cost benefit. You know, what's the cost going to be? What are the downsides of agreeing to this contract, even though we aren't real comfortable with it? And what's the bad side if it goes the other way? I'm a member of the Lions Club, and Mo's in the Lions Club, and 10 days ago, Mo and I worked together for a couple hours, and Mo assured me, he's a supervisor for Hadley, assured me that he would work with us to revise this contract expeditiously right after the first of the year, but take our time so everybody's comfortable with it. And I spoke to Barry about an hour ago and asked him the same question. And he assured me that the squad is more than willing to work with us to get this contract. So I also will be voting in favor of it.
And I feel the same way. I mean, you know, thanks to Barry, appreciate it, and you and the rest of the board. There's one thing you can't mess with in something like the end. We don't pass this, and we don't have a contract. They don't have an obligation to run the equipment. So, as a person that had an ambulance ride just 3 weeks ago, they do a good job, and we got to have them around here. So if there are some things that. And it's easy that we all say, well, it's the same one as last year. Well, Mary said the same thing. She approved it last year, but this year she had a little come a little doubts about it, but it's mostly little stuff that we gotta keep the ambulance running. And that's how I always looked at it. You know, and then come back and then next week when we have the first meeting or talk about something that might have to be changed, then we can make a different resolution and change it a little bit. But right now, we gotta approve this so it gets through the beginning of the year. And that's how I feel.
Annie, you got the floor, kiddo.
Thank you. I am uncomfortable with it. And basically because our attorney is saying, do not sign this. This is not a good thing. And I'm very disappointed that we don't have representation today. I'm very disappointed that Hadley didn't have representation today. We're here. We're trying to work with you. It's very important to all of us. This is our town. We want to take care of our people in our town. I would say if we had a stipulation or a contingency on our agreement to approve this, that we'll approve it for a month or 2 months to get the contract to where all three of us are satisfied with it, I would be okay with that. But I wouldn't be okay to sign a contract for a full year and have nothing done. Because we're trying to protect our taxpayers here. And I mean, I did read it several times. I did try to compare, and I do see where one problem is I was asking you at the last meeting, Barry. I was asking you at the last meeting when it says the Rockwell Falls, who is that? Who are those people? Where you were telling me it was the town of Luzerne and the town of Hadley. But on the contract, it's not. It's the EMS. It's your company. It's the ambulance service. And maybe it's misrepresentation. I'm sure it's not something that you're doing to change anything or anything like that. I know it's on the up and up, but that's what triggered the questions on the contract. Okay. And Mary put the new contract out, cut and dry, spelling everything out. It has everything from the insurance to the payments to everything that we need in that contract. But that's our attorney defending us. We also need Hadley's attorney defending them and your attorney defending you. And I appreciate that. I was hoping that with our attorney and Hadley attorney, that would have covered, since if we're owners of you, that would have covered your share of the attorneys. But I'm not comfortable with a year contract. I would be comfortable with a month or two till we can get the paperwork done. Does that make sense?
What I'd like to say about the whole thing is
Just so our memories don't fail us.
Yeah.
Barry Petty. I am the president of the EMS. And here's the thing. We want to work with the towns. And it's a weird setup right from the get-go for everybody, and it has been all right along with everybody that we deal with, because people try to understand. We're Luzerne, Hadley EMS, but yet we're Rockwell Falls Ambulance Service, and you want to talk about confusion.
Mm-hmm.
It confuses everybody like there's no tomorrow. The two towns set up an incorporation, so the two towns own the business. We run the business separate because the towns set up a board, same as the fire company has a board of commissioners. So with that said, as far as this contract goes, this contract is not my contract.
Mm-hmm.
This is our contract. This contract is a contract that's 1/3 owned by Hadley, 1/3 owned by Luzerne, and 1/3 owned by us. If we all aren't in agreement, then there's issues.
Yeah.
With that said, I'm not comfortable whatsoever of relying on, even if they're both in agreement, of Hadley saying yes, Luzerne had board saying yes, and yet we have a disagreement. So we're going to have a third-party lawyer to cover the agency itself. That's so again, we're all on the same page. We're all trying to cover our own entities. So with that said, the only thing I'm going to say is I'd be a little bit cautious
about putting a time frame on this thing. Because I can tell you right now, the problem with it is you guys meet one night, 1 week, and Hadley meets a week later on another night. And our board meeting is another night. And didn't you guys have your meetings on Thursday nights?
No.
Yeah, but Mo's on Thursday.
Was it Moses was on Thursdays?
We're on Tuesdays.
Trying to think how we got kind of goofed up here, because a while back, we had our meeting set up so that we would be just before the two towns. So that if we had an issue, we get it right to the towns and try to get it addressed. Most of our stuff is stuff that does not wait.
Well, I can answer
But-
that almost, because it was a couple of years ago, it used to be on Monday nights.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
The first
Yeah.
Monday and,
Yeah, right, and then I think it was back Danny Waterhouse or something, did it was Tuesday nights. And
Okay.
It was an easy thing, because nobody had anything else to
Yep.
do, so Tuesday nights was fine. It's been for a couple of years, so.
so.
They do bounce back and forth, and you'll see it on the 1st of January, when they have a reorganizational meeting here. 11 o'clock, I think it is,
Yep.
and they'll go over everything like salaries and this and that, who's the like road department and buildings and grounds and salaries and all. And that could be, if you feel we're doing something you'd like to change, that's the time you gotta come and see.
Well, that's the thing, so it's a coordination thing that we have to be careful of. And so what I'm going to say is I'd be a little cautious about putting a time frame on and setting a deadline to have this done, because to think that we could, I'm not saying we can't get it done within a month or two. I wouldn't go setting a deadline of a month or two. Things take time when you start talking 3 different parties, 3 different, we all gotta we gotta go get our lawyer on board again. I mean, we don't have him where we pay him every week to come in and sit on our stuff. We operate when we have an issue. We go to our attorney and we present our issue, and that's it. The last time that we actually had an issue where we had to get him on board, I want to say was the head-on collision that we had.
3-4 years ago.
Because we had the building that he got involved with when we built the building, and then the last time I believe is the head-on collision, we needed representation. Since then, I mean, we've run smooth, haven't had no reason, we haven't had any issues legally brought to us, so. He is one of those guys there that's always had the agreement with us there that he was kind of on standby. But he never required us to make payment to keep him on.
Retainer, yeah.
So he's kind of helping us out by doing us that kind of favor. And I talked to Scott the other day and we're both like, "Geez, we haven't talked to him in so long, or he didn't retire on us. We haven't heard." So again, we have to look into that. We have to get, and if he's not gonna represent it, we have to find somebody. So that's the only thing I'd be cautious about. But as far as you guys want to renegotiate that contract, we can sit down and negotiate it. That contract is more, it's 3-way agreement for sure. I mean, but our main concern is that gives us our monies to operate.
Right. Did you read the new one that Mary had proposed?
No, I haven't had any, I
She,
haven't had any communications except with Jim.
she spells out in detail how the money goes.
Which
That-
is exactly how you were saying you wanted it.
Yeah,
We,
but it's spelled out, who pays who.
but yeah, she wrote it out as a paragraph as
Yeah.
opposed to
Right.
showing a little chart that
Mhm.
just spells out
Yeah.
I don't care how they write that part of it. That's just
Well,
what,
what it really does, and I'm no lawyer, okay? It spells out the way we've been doing it for a long time.
there's no difference. What
Right.
she worded it
Yeah,
with
but your
words,
contract
I
doesn't
worded
spell
it with
that.
numbers. I don't. Doesn't matter. That part is,
That EMR was not mentioned at all in the old contract. It's in the new one, you can read that and you can say, okay, this entity pays this guy, that guy pays this entity, and that other entity pays everybody. You can figure that out if you read her. It's just that one
Right.
paragraph.
but if
With-
she's spelling, well, I don't want to get into the argument of that, but if she's spelling out EMR, she wants to realize is that we could drop EMR sometime this year when their contract's up, put a new thing in. So what we gotta do, sit down and come up with a new contract again? I mean, where it should be is your billing agency. And whoever we, you know,
Shouldn't
winds
mention
up,
names.
that your billing agent is your billing. I mean,
That's a
So it's
legitimate
like-
point of discussion.
Yeah.
again,
Yeah.
that's for 3 lawyers to sit and figure that out. I mean, but
I appreciate your concern about the time lapse, putting a date on it. We can always change that, all right, and I agree, it could take more than 2 months. But I've got an assurance from you and your organization, I got an assurance from Mo that we'll work on it.
Yep.
That's what I needed to sway me to a positive vote. So the
biggest
contract,
thing I think what needs to happen is I think the 2 town lawyers, and I said that last time and I got told I was offensive. But the bottom line is, I was trying to be helpful, is that the 2 lawyers from the 2 towns, they're the ones that originally
Get
created the
together.
contract to begin with.
Yeah.
Is they need to sit down and come up with a contract.
Yeah.
And then we need to sit there and say that, yes, we can either live with that contract, or for whatever reason, this needs to
Absolutely.
get changed on our behalf, because we have issues that we have to deal with too. So that's all I'm saying on that is that the 2 of them can get together and iron this out in the next couple of weeks. I'm happy, then I'll figure out my end of it, our end of it as the agency, and and we'll get ours reviewed, and heck, we might be able to resolve this year.
Yeah.
So again, but not always the way.
Yeah.
Way it works out.
Well, Barry, you have perfect, and because I'm sitting here going through my brain, thinking of what you're saying, and you gotta understand, a board like this, a board like Mo's, could change every year. Somebody
Right.
new,
Well,
2
same with
people
ours.
new, we got 2 people coming in that are
Yeah.
new for next year. They know nothing about this.
Hmm.
Right, so they're gonna have to abide by it.
well,
If
one
we-
might know a little.
Yeah, well, but
But you're right.
but you
yeah.
understand what I'm
Yep,
saying? It's
absolutely.
boards change
Yep.
individuals every election day. Sometimes we've been lucky. I've had a great board here for the last 3-4 years, no problem. But then all of a sudden you change, you get 2 new people on.
Sure.
And it's tough to keep them up to snuff what we did 5 years ago,
Right.
so.
And again, it goes right back to is we're more than willing to work with your people and bring you up to speed. If you're gonna show us the interest that you want to learn it, we're gonna teach you.
Yeah.
So we'll show you all it. We haven't had that in the past. I have not had councilmen come to our board and say, geez, we want to learn the ins and outs of your board. They're good and bad to that. Not from Hadley, or I'm not, like I say, that's both
Right.
town. I've never seen anybody from Hadley ever come to one of our board meetings. So again, we had no problem with that. We are an open public meeting, and we were more happy to work with you newer people to get you up to speed as to how this all works. So, yeah, I mean, we're good here. My only concern has been, and Amy will tell you, I'm all Rockwell Falls ambulance. That's my job is I'm Rockwell Falls ambulance. Not Hadley, not Luzerne. But I will work with them. But I have to look at their interest. Now, like you say, there's nobody will make that ambulance go down the road more than me. That's just the way it is.
Right.
So again, we'll work together with you.
We good?
All right.
So we're going with this
Nope.
resolution?
Thank you, Barry.
And we're gonna stick with this resolution then?
Yes.
You're not adding anything to it or anything else?
No, we're not adding anything. Well, that's my opinion. And it's the contract that we have that Mo has already signed. That's
That's
the attachment to this. Okay.
There's
But we
nothing
and we
to say-
do have your word that it will be.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right, and there's nothing to say that sometime in February, you wanna get
No,
both towns
No.
together and maybe make some changes, you can do that. There's nothing that stops that. You can end one resolution and start another, but you gotta get it done now because that ambulance gotta run. on the
Yes,
1st of
we
January.
do realize how important that is, especially with New Year's coming. We need to make sure you're up and running.
give me a week's notice when you have a board meeting. I'll come.
Yeah, I would like to have that too.
Just, yeah, you and I are supposed to do a tour last summer and we just never got around to it.
When is the meeting, Barry?
First Wednesday of every month.
First Wednesday.
That's some circumstance shows up there.
At what time is that? What time?
6:00. And then, something happens there where we have to change it, we try to notify everybody. Best we can.
And that's what happened because you're working with 2 towns, like Mo does it on Thursdays, we do it on Tuesday, we used to do it on Monday, he used to do it on Wednesday, and in between boards, they've switched dates, but we all try to keep a date open. You don't want Hadley having the same meeting on the same night, they're down here, and we, you know. Mo's always been on Thursdays, so we could find out what they did at Thursday night meeting, so when we had our Tuesday night meeting, we kind of knew what was coming up. That's the way I used to look at it, yeah,
I just want to make one comment.
Sure.
This is a volunteer board, half the board from Hadley, half the board from. It's, you don't get paid, we volunteer for the community, and it's happening. That's all, that's too much sense.
Okay, and we do meet 2 times a month. We do meet 2 times a month, minimum.
we have a meeting and an agenda.
Okay,
Everybody's good? Lori, call the roll, please.
Councilman Morton,
Yes.
Councilwoman McMahon,
yes.
Councilman Niles,
Yes.
Supervisor Merlino.
Yes,
Proposed resolution to,
Oh, I'm sorry,
Oh.
Lori, 1 second. Do you have that thing that Mo's already signed here?
I do.
Can you stick around to the end of the meeting and Gene will sign it? You can sign it if you want, we'll be done with it. All right?
okay.
Proposed resolution to authorize the supervisor to enter into and execute an agreement with Miller, Mannix, Shackner, and Hafner LLC for legal services for the calendar year 2026.
I make the motion.
I'll second it. It's per the thing you just copied for us.
All in favor? Opposed? Hearing none carried. Proposed resolution to authorize the supervisor to enter into and execute agreement with Metler Toledo LLC and pay the annual service fee in the amount of $1,025 for the calendar year 2026. This is for our scales at the transfer
I
station.
was just gonna mention that in case you
Yeah.
don't know who it is. The scales, they get them zeroed in every first of every.
That's.
Wait, thank you. I make that motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Uh,
Opposed? Hearing none carried. That's it for resolutions.
all right, we'll go down. If there's any other business come for the board.
I got just a couple announcements. We got the grant report, so
Okay.
read that over as soon as you can.
I looked at it. I didn't see anything that jumped out at me.
Same here.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm gonna send him an email, and I'm also gonna send an email to Cedarwood. Say, keep your eyes open for something that might help us put some meters on some water lines.
Mm-hmm.
See if they can dig something up for us for that.
It'd be a good idea.
And I also have a email into our Thai sales representative asking him for a quote on about 116
Oh,
meters.
great.
I
Can
just
you,
haven't heard from him yet.
send me a copy of that email? We got turned down again. I think this is the 7th time for the New York State Water Infrastructure Improvement Grant. They call it WIA. The acronym is WIA. That's this letter.
Read the whole thing. It's like
It's the same.
and no, but the way it's written, you were
It's just-
okayed for everything we.
Yeah.
We don't have enough money to give you. That's what.
Thank you.
basically.
Thank you for your application to the New York State Water Infrastructure Grant Program. I regret to inform you that your community's project was not selected to receive an award during this round. However, please note that the town may reapply for a WIA grant in the next offering of the program. To be notified, please sign up on emails. Your application was deemed acceptable, but unfortunately, there was not sufficient WIA funding available to reach the project. Please return the ready reply form with this letter December 23rd, 2025. Identify whether your community would like to proceed with DWSRF financing on the absence of the grant award. It's the same exact letter we got last year
Not the year before.
and the year before that.
I think that was,
I think there's a wise man saying, if you do the same thing over and over and expect different results, you're stupid. That one bugs me because we put some time into this one this year. Now, we did get that grant from Matt Simpson's office to do the engineering, so
We did.
hopefully that engineering package, once it's done, will carry some more weight when we
Mhm.
apply for this kind of stuff. Yeah, it's that. Grant report. Um. I didn't get around to looking for that streetlight contract yet, but I didn't forget it.
Okay, I did call on that if you got a minute.
Yeah.
I called again. I wanted to verify that the 38 streetlights that I reported that were out are still out. They do have those reported and they do have them charted, but there's no estimated time of having them fixed.
We're gonna keep looking for the contract. Maybe.
Yeah, because if
maybe we
we're
could put-
paying for streetlights and we don't have streetlights, that we shouldn't be paying for streetlights.
You're paying $125 a street light.
So
We
Lori,
have 38 that are out.
We've tried that many times, but you did a better job than I did getting somebody to at least answer you.
I had to report them 3 times, but I did get them, so they are on record that they're reported.
We will dig deeper for that.
Yeah.
Contract.
Yankee White Building.
It's nothing recent, I don't believe,
Yeah,
so. it's-
I'm just finished up 4 years on the board and was not during the last 4 years, I can tell you that.
No, you're good.
I'm done.
I don't have anything.
That's all I had.
All right, you too, both is
What
finished,
about
okay.
Tucker? I don't know if-
I just had a couple things for you guys. I just wanted to bring this up to you guys' attention. We had some issues over on like Traver and School and Hill Street, where people's basements get flooded out. So the only option really for them is to sump pump it out. But in the wintertime, that creates a bigger issue because now they're sump pumping straight into the street and now you have ice runs straight into people's driveways, creating bigger problems.
Down the
So-
sidewalk.
Right down the sidewalk, and it got addressed last week. There's just like layers of ice. There's nothing I can really do in my ordinance about it. But it does create a problem for the highway superintendent and for the grounds people to, maintain the sidewalk, and then it becomes the liability of who's supposed to maintain the sidewalk if someone gets hurt on the sidewalk. So I just wanted to bring that to your guys' attention that it's a reoccurring issue because earlier in the summer too, when the rain comes, I have people complaining about, the smell of septic or someone's pumping out their septic, but really they're just pumping out their basement. So I don't know if it's the answer is, finding ways to better manage the storm drains. I know we do have storm drains and some of them got kind of covered up, so we don't have the best outlets. Or if it's, we come up with some type of resolution to it. I see it from both sides because I don't think it's right to tell people that you can't, if you have a flooded basement, to tell you that you can't, pump out your basement. But I also see it as a risk factor where now you have people who are walking on an icy sidewalk that we can't really continue to have to ice and salt all the time if it's a constant on pumping it out onto the streets. So maybe finding a way to get it to the river, so I don't really know what the
Would
answer is there.
Would that be something that maybe our highway super could take a look at?
He's tried. That's been an ongoing problem.
Yeah, I
for
understand.
Years and years. It's very low there and the flow is not even. And when you get like weather like this and it rains into this, and the ground is partly frozen, so it's not gonna seep in.
Yeah.
It's a low area. My own feeling. The best case scenario is get a whole new drain line down all those properties into the drain line that goes down the street into the river.
Yeah.
But you can't depend on every house to keep it going. It's
Part of their problem.
one of those problems like with Church Street. It happens certain times of the year with the weather and then other times of the year it's beautiful. That's always been a problem for years. Because it's like a hollow there and the water comes in from both sides.
He pumps it. That residence pumps it out on the lawn. It runs down to the sidewalk. The sidewalk's just high enough so it acts like a dam. Then it runs down the sidewalk onto the sidewalk and onto the neighbor's driveway.
Totally a problem.
I know we do have some type of stormwater drainage, but from what I've been told, it's parts of it have been developed over to where it's not properly flowing out. And so there might be things that we could look into as far as trying to fix it or manage it better. And it could just be through, having the highway superintendent taking some guys out and looking at areas that they can improve that would fix it, but again, I like I said, I'd be remiss if I didn't like bring it up to you guys, so that's why I'm bringing it up to you now. The only other thing that I had was just with the decision being made for those two properties, 88 Bay and 15 Stewart. The time's come on that, and we will need a decision on who's gonna handle those properties. So I just wanted,
Yeah,
Remind
thanks,
you guys.
thanks for bringing that up. I had it on my list tonight, but I figure I'll bring it up for first,
yeah.
our
I know we
first
have
regular meeting.
Meetings coming up.
Yeah.
I just want to keep it.
Yes, agree.
Thank you, Tucker.
You've done, maybe?
Good.
Yeah, I just have one question for you, Tucker. Have you talked to Mary at all? Like if that resident's pumping water onto a town sidewalk, the sidewalk freezes over. I'm very familiar with the area. So the sidewalk freezes over constantly. Basically all winter long because they're pumping that basement all winter long. Somebody from the town walking down the sidewalk slips or gets hurt on the town sidewalk. Are we liable for that?
That's a question for Mary.
I just didn't know. if you
I
talked to
haven't
her.
asked her lately just because I know she was doing that resolution plus she's on vacation, so.
Do we want to ask her?
Yeah,
I think it's been asked her before though, so it's probably something we just need to,
Would you ask her?
yep. I'll try to get that quick answer for you.
thank you.
Now, the reason I asked, do we want to ask her? The clock.
I know right now, of course, we maintain them with the little snow blower we got that you can drive around.
Salting machine.
But I don't know if that doesn't, give us the liability there. I don't think it does, so. I think it's just, we'll see.
The day you showed me this stuff,
Mhm.
somebody, I assume it was buildings and grounds, had just put sand on it.
Right, Brian
The
did.
sand was half washed away already.
Right, yeah, because it's a constant flow.
Yeah.
And they try not to put salt on it because the salt eats the concrete.
So the
and
rainwater's
it's
coming
driving
down
worse down the road.
here.
Sand is the only
Rivers
thing
get
that
out.
it drifts.
I think we're done.
Jim, you got your plans?
I'm all set.
I got nothing else to say.
I make the motion we adjourn.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
All right.
Aye. You got
I
nothing
need
to say?
you to.
Can you sign the EMS thing?
Here's-